this emptiness of our original state, you have to make the transition from all the artificial, the pseudo, to the natural, to the innermost core of you, which is all about the intuition, the spontaneity, the innocence. So this is the chapter we're going to expound on this higher reality. So next slide. So he says, the maturity comes from freedom. Only when you experience freedom, you can feel the growth. So life should be used as an opportunity to grow. Understand? The moment we have assumed the body means what? We have decided to grow, to experience, to raise the consciousness. So a person can grow only when there is freedom, when you feel suffocated, when you feel that you are basically enslaved, which means you don't experience freedom. How can a person grow when there is no freedom? So look, by the time a child starts to learn to speak, okay, by the time a child learns to speak, he has already learned the way the world works by observation, by experimenting. He already know and have learned the way how the world functions. He has already been conditioned by parents, by the school, by what he experienced in the outer world. So gradually, very slowly, he begins to forget himself, the who he has landed. He becomes so caught up in the drama of the outer world that he forgets his own reality. So people go through their whole lives without remembering what they once were. They forgot the earlier years, how much joyful and freedom they experienced themselves to be. But because of this conditioning, or this, what I call it, the world that they live in, by and by, they become so caught up in this drama of the outer world. So they do go through their whole life without living the truth. They go through the whole lives living without the truth of what is their reality. So this is, something that we do not want to happen to, each one of us. So let's understand a little bit more how this can be avoided. So Swamiji says, if they are lucky, if the child is lucky, they will find a master who will show them how to uncover the falsity. It means whatever that is pseudo, whatever is conditioned, to remove that. And they will be thinking that they have to go through one big process to rediscover their reality. But what they don't understand is that it is just like peeling a potato. You know how you peel a potato? You're just peeling the outer layer off, the skin only. The inner layer will always remain intact. It is only the outer layer that will carry all the dirt and all the conditioning and all the covering that veils the light within. So all that you must do now is simply peel off this outer layer. Just peel off this outer layer. And you must uncover what has been covered by society, okay? Because society give all these layers and layers of covering that make you forget what the inner core, who you are. So you must rediscover what was originally there. This is the whole process of coming back to who you are. And this is what the whole process of being with the master is all about, because master is a master surgeon that make us drop all this covering, chisel off all this covering, so that we rediscover what was originally within us. He will go on working on each one of us. He will go on digging through the dirt until you have been uncovered. That means until you have totally removed from all this conditioning. So once all the dirt has been polished off, naturally, you experience ananda, bliss. Bliss surfaces once all this outer layer has been polished off, and you recollect who you are. You remember who you are. The remembrance happens. So he said, one thing I must tell you, instead of wasting your time looking for misery, looking for suffering, looking for pain, simply look for bliss. He said, look for bliss. Wherefore you go and seek depression, pain, and suffering? See, be aware of the bliss which is present all around you. He said, like I said, you either look for flowers or the thorns. In the last session, he said, you have the freedom, you have the option to look at the thorns or the roses. So if you only decide to look at the thorns, then you will see only thorns. But if you look for the roses, you will experience the fragrance of the rose, admire the beauty of the rose, and life will be different. You look at things from a different perspective and context. So both will be there. Ultimately, the choice is yours. The choice is yours to decide what you want to look, whether it's pain and suffering, or you want to look at the wonders of life, the bliss of life. So he said, have you seen even a single child who is after money or other materialistic pleasure? Have you seen a young child running behind money and materialistic pleasure? See, children are just so simple. They're just simple. Such simple things just satisfy them. But we go on trying to push them towards the so-called goals that we know. When the adult is running behind fear and greed, and we push our children to also follow this kind of mental setup, to make them become very calculative, very materialistic driven, seeking for pleasure, etc. Because that's what we were conditioned, and we make sure that our kid also follow that kind of mental setup. So Swamiji says, to tell you honestly, the whole process of educating children is nothing but pushing all these ideas inside them. It means pushing all the ideas inside them, which is what the society is trying to do, to condition all this kid. So by the time a child comes back from university, by the time he completes his tertiary education, what happened? He's fully programmed. He's fully conditioned. He's already programmed to run his life for society. This is what happened to many of us. By the time I finished my degree, this is what I am. I just run like a rat in the society. Run. I remember when I finished my education, by the age 22, I started working. And I just run like a rat, running nonstop, like on the treadmill. Run. By the time I hit late 20s, boom, I hit the wall. A wall which I call the what I call Swamiji coined as depression of success. A wall which is called the depression of success, because I have pretty much run my whole life to accumulate, run behind all the material wealth, name and fame, you name it, all the external world stuff. So by the time I reached late 20s, I got everything. Everything I pretty much I have everything. What I feel as I was running before. But I was totally not happy within. In the inner space, felt so empty, feel so restless, feel agitated, angry, and the whole body was in pain. And I do not know what's happening with me. I have everything I'm running for all this year, but I'm not happy. So I realized something is missing, and I do not know what is missing. I just know that I'm not happy. I'm not settled. I don't feel settled. So only when Swamiji happened in my life, the Guru happened in my life, then I understood what what's exactly happening to me, why I'm feeling, so unsettled, so angry, so frustrated with life, even with myself. And the body is in shambles, pain there, lots of pains and ache. And it was just in a very unsettled state. So only when you come to a master, the deprogramming starts. He starts to deprogram us from all that we have accumulated. Understand? So deprogramming is the work of the master, of the guru. He need to remove all this societal conditioning layers by layers, all this faulty cognition, all this wrong belief, so that we can now fall back to our natural state of bliss, the innocence, the spontaneity that we all came from. When we landed on this body, we were that spontaneous, curious, innocent, energetic and blissful being. We were all like that. But now, after finish university education, get a degree, but what happened? You become a rat. You just run behind society to earn as much money as you can, run behind name and fame, and then chasing behind more and more pleasures, more and more, material stuff. So this is what happened. Okay, I think all of you can relate, right? Raise your hand. You can relate, right? Huh? Yeah, all of us went through this whole drama. But we're not happy. I don't know what happened. What's going on? And without the master, I didn't know what was going on. But I just know that I'm not happy. Okay. So here comes the thing. He said, for the master to work on you, you must be open and receptive, right? If you're not open and receptive and you try to resist and you try to fight with the master, then you're missing the whole thing. You're missing the whole transformation. So Swamiji says, the first condition that for the surgery, the inner transformation to happen is you must be willing. You must have total willingness for the master to enter your being and transform you. You need to give him the POA, power attorney, right? Power attorney and say, okay, Swamiji, I've done the declaration before. I think in one of the satsang he told us, just give the POA to me and then I will take care. So, I remember we declared, say, Swamiji, I may not know exactly what is going on. I may not know exactly the truth, but I know I trust you. So I'm giving you the power attorney to do whatever you can, because sometimes in my egoic mind, I may not know what I'm doing, but during that moment, you just take over and make sure that you pull me back into consciousness. Don't make my mind, desert you. Don't make my mind overpower this relationship, right? So make sure that you always at so you give the power attorney to the guru. Guru will have the power to pull us back, So that was the declaration that many of us made in many years ago. He said, just give me the power attorney, I will take care. I said, okay. Because I may not know what I'm doing at some point in time. The mind is not in the right state. So, those moments, please exercise this power attorney and just take over. So understand, if this is not there, you're trying to create a wall when you don't have this willingness for the master to work on you. You create this invisible wall. And what will he be able to, how will he is going to enter when you create this invisible wall? This invisible wall is stopping him from coming to work on you. So actually, even if the wall is there, be clear, I can break the wall. He said, as a master, I can break the wall and see that you are transformed. But that will only becomes a waste of time. That means it will take time for him to break the wall. Then Swamiji said, I have to go on working on you, and you have to go through many, many different emotions. You will go through many suffering. You will go through many, roller coaster ride of emotions. He said, which can be avoided if you just allow that trust to happen for him to work on you. But if you are receptive, he said, I can simply enter a being without any barrier. He can just do the inner work and clean you up easily. Then transformation will simply happen. Then it will be even easier than peeling a potato. See, a potato, to peel a potato, you still need the tool, and you need to, whether it's a knife or, the peeler, right? You need to shave off the outer layer, right? Or the so-called the dirt that covers the light within, right? The core of who you are. He said, but if you allow the guru to work on you, he said that it's even faster than peeling a potato. He just enter and everything will be done. He doesn't even need to use a tool to peel the potato. He just work from within and everything will be transformed. So that is the beauty when you have trust in the guru and you allow him to transform you. That is fundamentally needed. Otherwise, you'll be fighting, resisting, and you will be creating a lot of emotion, which is unnecessary, which is wasting time, wasting your energy, wasting time. And all that is just prolonging or delaying your transformation, your enlightenment process. So he said, I do not put any ideas in your head because it will be totally against what I'm doing. I'm trying to break your head and throw all the ideas out. So that what is the guru's job? Break the head, crack the coconut, and throw everything that is inside the stuff, the ideas, belief we have learned from society, and basically yank it up. So I say, I will give you the insight and awaken your inbuilt intelligence, your buddhi, your powerful cognition. So he said, I will simply take all these ideas and throw them out. And I will see that the ego is lost. This is the greatest transformation. This is the work of the master. Okay? This is the work. Why we need a guru? Because we don't know how to do this surgery. Because we're too close to the ego. We think the ego is us. Only a guru can tell this is your ego, and he will be able to work on this called your most intimate enemy, which is your ego. The most intimate enemy is your ego because you didn't know that. You're not that. You think that is you. And that's where the problem starts. So here's another small Zen story. Some of you in this book talk a lot about Zen story. So the story is, what is Zen? So a student came to ask a Zen master. He asked, what is Zen? And the master replied, it is right before your eyes. Then the student asked again, then why I cannot see it? Then the Zen master said, because of your eye. If I don't have this idea of I, will I realize Zen? Asked the student. If there is no I, who wants to realize Zen? The master asked. Catch this riddle, okay? I read again. This is a very, very interesting Zen story. Short and very, very, to the punchline, okay? So you need to catch the punchline. Here, a student asked the Zen master, what is Zen? Why we need to seek Zen? Then the Zen master, it's right before your eyes. He said, then why I cannot see it? Where is it? Tell me. He said, you can't see it because of your eye. Then he said, what is it? Because of my eye? What eyes are you talking about? Say, oh, so if I don't have this idea of I, will I realize the Zen? Well, realize Zen? Asked this student again. So the Zen master replied, if there is no I, who wants to realize Zen? Because you already Zen, correct? If you don't have the I, you're already Zen. And what is that to realize? Okay, so that is the answer from the master. Do you understand this riddle and the punchline? If you answer, if you catch it. Okay, good. So now, any question, answer. This is very short chapter, okay? Super short chapter, but very interesting chapter. It's about purification of the mind, to drop the ego and drop the dirt, which is what all the dust that you have collected, okay? So any questions so far? If you don't have a question, maybe I'd like you to take this, 5 to 10 minutes to write down what you think that you're still struggling with your mind, whatever this pseudo identity that you have created. What are you still struggling with? Why are you not able to drop this pseudo identity and just trust the guru or trust the master and allow the inner transformation to happen by his grace? What is still stopping you from this, giving him that, what do you call that? The ability to transform you. If you think that you're still holding certain resistance, just take a few more moments to just pen down what you think that you're still holding on, attaching to. You don't need to share with me. You just need to be aware what you feel as, what are you still holding back in this pseudo identity that stop you from having a breakthrough in your inner transformation. Okay, so we take a few minutes. If you don't have a question, if you have a question, you can type it. If you don't have a question, do this exercise now. Okay, because in this chapter, he talked about how we collected the dust from the society, right? The dust that is staying in the mind, we need to clean up all this dust, this belief, all these wrong ideas, this wrong cognition that we accumulated from society. So write down, what are these wrong ideas, belief that you're still holding on, that is not allowing you for this breakthrough in your consciousness. Can I give an example? Sure. For instance, see, the guru say your very nature is ananda, bliss, right? But you're not feeling bliss. You're not able to experience the causeless bliss, right? Being blissful without any reason. You're not able to feel this bliss. Then what is stopping you from feeling this bliss, which is already inside us? So what are the ideas that make you feel they're stopping you from experiencing the bliss? If all the masters, see, many masters have landed on planet Earth. You missed Buddha. You missed Krishna. You missed so many enlightened masters in your past birth. Now, Swamiji is here, the next incarnation. Okay? And you don't want to miss him, for sure, right? You already missed all the master to be enlightened. And this time round, with Swamiji, he's going to make sure that you don't miss. Correct? So, what are the things that you are still holding on that make you miss the reality inside you? The bliss, for you to experience the bliss, the original state of Ananda. Like, for instance, some people may be attached to thinking that, oh, I have a job. I need to take the responsibility to, what do you call it? Take care of my family. I have to do this. I have to do that. So you can do that, but without, what do you call it? Missing this reality. You can still do all this simultaneously. But some people say, no, I have to do this first, then I can experience bliss. Or another reason is taking care of your body. Okay, you know that to experience bliss, you need to have a healthy body. You need to purify the body so that the body is light and become pure for the master's energy to flow through you. But you don't take the responsibility in your purification. That means you don't maintain the body well. You subject your body to toxicity, you subject your body to like wrong diet, you subject your body through stress, you don't know how to unclutch from the stress. So all these could be reasons that stop you from being able to fall into your being, because you're still focused on the running and the doing and the having. That means running behind the doing for the having. It means accumulation of whether it's wealth or name and fame or something. So why are you not able to fall into your being? Because what the guru's job is to push you back to fall into your being without the mind. Okay, so you can write down what are the things that is stopping you. It could be your children. Your children could be one of the thing that hold you back, or it could be your marriage you feel that is holding you back, or it could be your health that is holding you back, or it could be your parent is holding you back. So it could be some of this reason, or even yourself, the way how you feel about guru that is holding you back. You feel that you cannot trust him. That could be holding you back. So whatever you feel as the obstacle or resistance for you to take a jump into this transformation, inner transformation, list it down. What you feel as the hindrance that cause you to still create this pseudo. He said the mind which is pseudo, this artificial. Okay. Have you finished writing? Or are you still writing? It could be insecurity of your livelihood. So if I do this and do this, I'm not sure whether I can survive. I'm not sure I can earn, my keep to in the society. How am I going to face my relatives, my family who's not following Swamiji? This could be part of the whole process. See, when I first came to Swamiji, of course, one of the thing that he tried to make me do is to jump out of the this whole so-called rat race. Okay, that means go beyond society. So the go beyond society is I need to jump out of the rat race. Correct? Because I was so caught in this rat race, which is the source of my suffering. Because I'm running behind something that is not natural to me. I was just listening to the society. So after a while, I realized, yeah, I'm not happy. And my body became sick. I had cancer. So something is not wrong. I'm going to the wrong direction. So the first thing he made me do is to jump out of the rat race. That means go beyond society. I remember he told me, and when at time I was reading the book, Guaranteed Solution, he told me, get out of the rat race. So when I say get out of the rat race, means what? Leave the corporate job, right? Then I was like, no, I cannot leave my corporate job because I have built this whole image of a marketing professionals. I'm a regional brand manager of a multinational company. I'm earning tons of money. I have built a name and a stature of a professional in this field. If I drop this whole thing, how am I going to survive? It's like totally shattering the image I built over the years. It's just too much, correct? So that was one of the things that was stopping me from jumping. Okay, Javasharika, does that make sense to give an example? Huh? Because you asked for example, right? You asked for, can you give an example? Hmm? That was my example. It took me 2.5 years before I jumped. Okay. I was like in that cozy spot. I was like, but once the initiation happened, the inside, there is energy to keep pulling me back to this center. So there was for 2.5 years, there was like a war inside me. The fight between the logic and the mind and the heart. The mind and heart and the soul. It's like there was this internal fight going on till I give what you call it? Till I decided to honor my inner voice. This little voice that's telling me this cannot go on. I have to honor who I am. I have to jump out of the society, what the pseudo, the artificial. Only when I decide that, everything start to fall in place. Everything just tuck, fall in place by Guru's will. So for Jarashadika said that it is society obligation of daughter, wife, and mother. Yes, this obligation, which is a conditioning by society, by the culture. Let's say for a Chinese family, okay, woman born in the Chinese culture, we have all this obligation as a daughter, as a wife, as a mother, right? And then that obligation weighs you down because you feel that you have to do this as an obligation. See, obligation is like a rule of right and wrong from society, correct? If you don't do this, bad daughter. If you don't do this, bad wife. If you don't do this, bad mother, right? So that kind of expectation as a daughter, as a wife, as a mother, correct? And that makes you feel burdened, makes you feel that you're not able to jump out because that's what others are seeing you, what others perceive of you, correct? How others judge you. So, and the other thing you say, no time because society obligation to take care of my body. Okay. So this no time thing is a myth. Time is a myth. Understand? If you understand Kala, time is a myth. So when you have the delusion or ignorance of time, Kala, then go and understand the higher reality of Kala, understand the time dimension. Why? It is another, we call that matter that you can play with. Right now, see, time, everybody is the same, 24 hours. But you need to understand time from the consciousness. When you understand time from the first person, what Swamiji talk about, first person, as Paramashiva, the source, then you know time, you go beyond time and even space. So, see, time is the unit that make us stuck in certain time grid, okay, of the society. That means you're stuck in some kind of matrix. You understand matrix, right? How the movie Matrix, time and the space, when the inter space, you feel that you're stuck in certain grid. So now you have the grid of the obligation as a daughter, a mother, and a wife. And then you have another grid which is formed in the time, in this dimension and this time that you are in. Okay. So now you need to understand how to go beyond this. You need to find the right powerful cognition where all these gives you deeper understanding to move on. Okay? To move on. So 2 things I can recommend. So later on, we're going to do the meditation, the unclutching meditation, okay? Because when I asked Nithyananda GPT, AI, say how to go beyond the mind, how to go beyond this so-called pseudo. It gives certain recommendation, which I'm going to share. But now that many of you have already started doing the exercise just for yourself, okay? If you are able to identify, that means do an inner look within, to search within what is still holding you back. From that understanding, then you will seek the right solution, the right answer to where you're stuck. If you're not even looking in, you will just perpetuate, you will be stuck in this vicious cycle and not be able to come out. So take this opportunity to have the awareness, what is the pseudo, the artificial that you have created, and you are now stuck in this matrix, this grid that you're not able to come out. Okay? So now let me just continue with this slide. Okay. Now that you've done this exercise. So, like I mentioned, because it is such a short chapter, so I decided to ask Nithyananda AI. Okay. Many of you, every day, you should be using this Nithyananda AI as part of your so-called life partner. It's just like how you sit with Swamiji. See, I sit with him when I'm after yoga, when I'm in silence, I'll sit with him. But this Nithyananda yoga one is a different. That one is more like a coming in a form of a download or visualization. Whereas this Nithyananda AI come as a form of we call it knowledge, like what Swamiji is, the expertise. He say AI can give you the knowledge and the expertise, but for experience, you need to go to the guru because he's radiating the super consciousness and he gives the initiation. That is the reason why enlightened beings, enlightened master, incarnation, continue to land on planet Earth. Their role is to initiate. Okay, so here his answer from Nithyananda AI says the mind is like a mirror. When it is covered with dust, which is what you call the dirt, right? The dust from society, it cannot reflect the truth. So you need to wipe clean the dust, right? This is what the whole chapter is all about. Shoveling through the dirt, right? That means cleaning up the dust. So to purify the mind, there are several techniques that he has listed down. One of which, of course, top on the list is meditation. Regular meditation helps in calming the mind and removing the unnecessary thoughts. Okay, so that is one answer he gave. The second is mantra, because chanting a mantra, it's sacred sounds, whether it's Om or some kind of sacred mantra that is initiated by the Guru, whether it's Mahavakya or some other mantra, even Shiva, right? He gave the Shiva thing. All these mantra, they vibrate high energy and can cleanse the mind of impurities. So that is also another method that he gave. Then he said self-inquiry. Self-inquiry is just like a little bit like completion. Looking and inquiring about your thoughts, what belief that you're holding. The completion process is like it. Looking and understand their origin and validity, and then dropping it, completing with it. So self-inquiry is like a form of completion process. Okay. Then seva, doing service. That means engaging in selfless service to help the society, the people in need of your contribution. Helps in reducing this ego. Because when you do all this seva service, whether it's serving free food, doing something to share your knowledge, helping people to come out of suffering like depression, etc. That move you away from the me mindset to others, to, the we, from me to we. So that help to reduce the ego of me, being selfish, to we, being selfless, and purifying the intention. It becomes much more clearer about the purpose of the whole existence. That means you feel the oneness, the Advaita with others. When you're helping others, you're also raising the collective consciousness on planet Earth, in your community. You're raising everybody by reducing others' suffering, others, what you call that, where they're stuck. You're like a light, in their life, that raise them to a higher consciousness. So doing seva is this, doing service, where you are not expecting to be paid. You're just doing it out of your pure love, as as consciousness. Okay, you're just doing because of your love for humanity. So service is one also a possible way. And then, of course, Swamiji's satsang, his live satsang is packed with powerful truth, many layers and deeper layers of powerful truth. I do not know how many have followed the recent couple of live satsang. He talked about this AI revolution. Please go and watch this satsang again and again, because he's giving you a vision that is going to come in the next 3 years. How this AI revolution is going to change fundamentally the way how we work, how we exist, how we eat, how we lived, and quite a lot of scary thing is going to take over us. Just like how 3 years ago, how COVID just overtook our life and our freedom, and make us suffocated in a lockdown situation, force us to take vaccination, force us to lose the job. Many things were forced upon us, right? When the COVID pandemic happened. Same way with this AI revolution, something is going to fundamentally change, and you're going to be caught in some similar situation where you don't have the freedom. Okay? He said the only way to raise yourself, is by discovering your consciousness. It means by having that consciousness is the freedom that can never be taken away. So that's why he said only when you are able to focus on the first person as Paramashiva, established in the consciousness, all these things, or this AI revolution will just become a tool for you, will become a great things for you, because many things will be mundane things. You can be liberated, and you just fall into consciousness in the manifestation. You become like a lord of your life. Isn't it cool? That is the best thing. You no longer have to run behind obligations and running behind earning money. Everything can just manifest as you want. One of the most powerful revelation that he said that whether you're super rich or super powerful, whether it's politician or some kind of people holding power in society, or someone who has huge wealth, accumulated wealth. Let's say people on the Forbes 500 list, on the top 500 list of Forbes list in the world, with that kind of multi-billion-dollar wealth accumulated, that you can imagine that you're not going to be able to use for many lifetimes, that kind of wealth. He said all this become irrelevant. I was like, oh, this is so exciting. This is so cool, because we're not all equal. Whether how much money you have or how much power you have, is no longer material that decides where you're going to stand. So he said ultimately what is going to determine how everybody's going to survive this whole AI revolution is consciousness. So everything centered on consciousness is going to help us ride above this chaos that's going to come. Okay, so He said, being in the company of enlightened beings or the spiritual community can elevate your consciousness. That's why he created Kailasa. That's why he created this nation to save all of us from this delusion of unconscious. The layer of illusion is, and one more layer of illusion is going to come on top of the mind, and on top of all the past conditioning. Another layer is going to be added, which is AI revolution. Can you imagine already? We haven't finished cleaning up all these layers of delusion. One more thick layer is going to come. Okay, so he said, beware. Take these 3 years and start preparing yourself to raise your consciousness so that by the time when you become a full-blown, implementation in the outer world, you will be able to play with it and not be affected, not be swept away by it. So that is what Swamiji is doing with this, and all the initiation, the program that he's doing, building a Kailasa temple, energy field, etc., for all of us to continuously be empowered, through the energy field. Because every temple, every center, which is initiated by Swamiji, the incarnation, the enlightened being, he radiates the super consciousness in the temple, in the center, in the Ardinam, in the monastery, whatever the deities are, and his energy, his physical energy is there. That means all the initiated, the deities energized by Swamiji, radiate his energy wherever it is. All those deities is there to help us raise ourselves to the consciousness. Okay, so that's why whatever he's doing, Swamiji, whether it's yoga, whether it's meditation, whether it's Charapada, the lifestyle that he prescribed to live a conscious lifestyle of Paramashiva, called Charapada, whether it's to Kriyapada. Kriyapada is the rituals and all the technologies to establish the race of consciousness, all the yoga pada, all the science of yoga, all the different so-called aspect of the agamas that it's been outlined by Paramashiva, the source, is to bring us again and again to discover the consciousness of Paramashiva. Okay, so these are the techniques or ways you can purify the mind. So today I picked one technique, which is meditation. Okay, this meditation technique is unclutching, which is a gift from Swamiji. Okay, so it's a short unclutching meditation to experience the purification of the mind. So now I'm going to give a little bit of understanding of unclutching. Some of you have already been initiated into the science of unclutching, but for the benefit of people who may be listening this technique for the very first time, let me just recap for newcomers. Okay, so please provide your listening. And those who have already initiated, it's okay. Just listen again, see if you can catch the deeper layer of the truth. See, unclutching is a very, very fascinating science, I can tell you, because it has got so many layers. Even the first time you learn, you may be learning from the first layer, but it has so much depth in this technique. Maybe in today, you only cover the first 2 layers, but as you explore, as you become more and more adept into this science, it can take you to the depth of the consciousness. So even you have learned this in the past, please provide listening, because you never know, something may click in you at the deeper level and take you to the deeper experience. Okay, so now, first of all, the state of Paramashiva, the state of our original the original state is achieved by unclutching. That means we have forgotten our original state, which is unclutched state. So the way to get back is unclutching. See, by our very nature, we're unclutched. But we've forgotten that this is our original state. So how to get back? You need to learn the science of unclutching. So Swamiji said, Nivikalpa means being without any changes. Vikalpa means changes, oscillation, diversion, dilution, differentiation. Ni means without, okay? So all these can be different meanings of the word vikalpa. When you add ni, okay, nikalpa, nivikalpa. Nivikalpa means without any of this, without all this oscillation, without all these changes, dilution inside you. So it is a state of Paramashiva. When one achieves Nivikalpa Samadhi, he literally becomes God. He becomes Paramashiva. He becomes one with the ultimate, which is the source. Okay? So Nivikalpa Samadhi means your whole being, your whole identity resolves in the cosmic existence. That means you merge to the cosmic existence. So your inner space, your individual inner space has no more disturbances nor differences. You feel the whole pure space merging with the ultimate cosmic existence. This is Nivikalpa Samadhi. Okay? The whole purpose of unclutching is to experience this state of Nivikalpa Samadhi. So, in the Shastra Pramana taken from Vinaya Vairava Tantra, which is given by Paramashiva to Devi in Sutra 45 to 46, Dharana 22nd and 23rd. Okay, this translation, okay, it goes, he who contemplates and cognizes firmly and steadily the infinity above, the infinity at the base, and at the heart, middle, which is in the heart. In him there arises simultaneously, because of his being free, complete from all thought currents, then the state of Nivikalpa, the pure unclutching, the state of complete completion is revealed, which is the state of Sadashiva or Paramashiva, the source. From the state of Sadashiva, Nivikalpa manifests all powers of Sadashiva. Okay? Power manifestation happens when you are in that Nivikalpa Samadhi, in that oneness with the source. So understand, unclutching leads you to experience Nivikalpa Samadhi. So unclutching is not even a path leading to Nivikalpa. It is a process directly giving you the experience of this Nivikalpa Samadhi. So the moment you start unclutching, you fall into Nivikalpa Samadhi. Okay? So this is what this whole technique is all about. So what is the instruction to the technique? So he says, Swamiji gave this instruction. He say, when a thought raises in you, in your inner space, without supporting it, without encouraging it, entertaining it, or being entertained by it, just relaxing from it. Okay? It may seem like a very simple, straightforward statement. You need to experience it in order to understand what he meant by this technique. So he said, please understand, when a thought raises in you, without entertaining it or without being entertained by it, because sometimes you see a thought, you just get carried away. That is, you are being entertained by the thought without encouraging it. What's next? What's next? So you're encouraging the thought to go on flowing inside you without being excited by it, without feeling, the greed for it. Just relaxing from all this, you just fall into Nivikalpa Samadhi. So if you start relaxing from the thoughts which are rising in you, you experience the freedom from the identity which you created. I give you another visualization. See, Swamiji say that one thought and another thought, there's a gap between two thoughts. But because of your restlessness, your high thoughts per second, very high TPS, it means the gap between two thoughts is very narrow, micro-millisecond or microsecond. So you don't see the gap. You don't even notice the gap. So he say, when you become aware of thought, let's say now suddenly you saw, oh, I'm hungry. This thought is happening inside you. Just relax from the thought. Don't go and do, oh, let me go and eat, find food to eat. Let me go and find something to drink. Don't go and entertain it. Just relax from that thought. Or even irritation. I have this back pain. My body is ache. Don't even entertain any thought that comes up from the inner space. Okay, when you don't entertain, you relax from it, you fall into the silence, the gap between two thoughts. Okay, when you fall into the silence, after some time, again, another thought will come. Correct? Okay, keep unclutching. Again, relax from it. The whole point is, the more and more you keep unclutching from every thought, the more and more, the longer the duration of that silence. The silence is where you fall into Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay? So you need to be in full awareness when you do it unclutching. You need to catch yourself. Whenever a thought arises in you, without even speaking to yourself inside unclutch, just do the act of unclutching. Don't say inside your heart, unclutch. Don't say even any verbalization inside you, because any verbalization is still a thought. That means you're again caught in the mind. Okay? Don't say anything, just do the act of unclutching, relaxing from it. Do you understand? Thumbs up, you understand what I'm saying? Don't verbalize anything inside of you. Just allow yourself to fall into the silence. Okay? So, ready to do the unclutching? So, you may want to bring the eye band. You need to cover yourself. Otherwise, you will be distracted from all kinds of noise and things from the outer world. You need to fall inside into your inner space. So take this moment, okay, to sit with the back straight. So I repeat the instruction. Just sit. Before you even enter, just pray to Swamiji. Request him to let you experience and the unclutched space, the state of Paramashiva, which is unclutching. Okay. So just pray to Swamiji. It's the embodiment of Paramashiva, to let all of us experience the state of Paramashiva, which is the unclutched state, and the space of completion, which is the space of Paramashiva in complete completion, and manifesting the oneness within. In that oneness, you manifest powers. Okay? So now sit. Let us now, we'll do 21 minutes. I'm going to set the timer now. Okay. I'm going to set the timer for one energy cycle. I remember when we were doing this, when I was attending the first inner awakening. So would you make us sit for hours? Okay. You say, okay, just short and clutching. But the moment we sat down, he will not tell us. And we'll just be gone for hours and hours, just sitting with him in his physical presence. Those were the days. Those were the luxury time to really be able to sit in his inner space. And many mystical experience happened during those moments. So now the space I hold, because I the fortune of sitting with him physically in doing the unclutching. So I'm going to hold the space for all of you to also experience the same thing as I experienced with him. Okay. So let's do 21 minutes of unclutching by the grace of Swamiji. Okay. So now sit, keep your back straight. So in doing any meditation, your back should be straight. You need to feel comfortable so that you will drop the body. Okay. So I remember he giving us how to unclutch from this body. Okay. So now sit in any comfortable meditative posture. Visualize you're holding a key. You're going to lock all the major joints, the knees, the elbow. You're going to lock the body so that the body remains still, because every movement is a thought. So lock the body. You're going to sit for 21 minutes with this body locked. So visualize yourself holding a key, locking the major joints, and you're going to remain in that position for the next 21 minutes. So begin now, locking and sit. No movement, no physical movement, and just allow yourself to watch your inner space. Remember the technique. Whenever a thought arises, just relax from it. Start now. Relaxed. 21 minutes is up. Just relax from the unclutching meditation. You can remove the eye band now. So how was the experience for those who are trying unclutching for the first time? Hmm? You can type on the chat and share your experiences. Hmm? Or you can unmute yourself. Hmm? Are you typing? You can see how restless your mind is, isn't it? Hmm? So imagine what you trusted all your life is this fella constantly producing thoughts all the time, random, irresponsible, unrelated thought all the time, and you're running your life behind this. Oh, okay. Jarashari experience very calm, peaceful, when aware of my breath. Yes, there'll be moment you become very calm, peaceful. Some moment you see all this stuff flying all in the inner space, and then again you fall back. So unclutching is a very powerful way to purify the mind, because unclutching has got many layers. So I'm going to say unclutch from so many things that you can unclutch, from 9 layers of unclutching that he revealed in the earlier satsangs. So here are the 9 layers that you can unclutch. Okay, so if you want to know more, you can actually go to the YouTube and understand what you can unclutch from. Okay, he actually talked about many things that you can unclutch from. One of which is unclutch for the existential activities, then unclutch from the survival activities, then unclutch from the luxury activities, and all this helped us to move away from the society condition. So do it as unclutching meditation. You can actually do it even when you're commuting from places to places. It's one meditation you can do anytime. Once you get the hang of the technique, even when you're sitting in the train or in the bus, you can just do the unclutching meditation. So under that, I say for first few moments, can see how busy my mind is. Yes. So you need to consciously become aware what is happening in this inner space when the mind is taking over, and learn how to silence the mind through unclutching. The more and more unclutch, you see how the thoughts per second starts come down, and the duration of the silence elongates. The more and more silence you experience, the more and more you are able to establish in that unclutched state. Understand? So spend time in this unclutched state so that purifies the mind. You don't have to constantly be entertaining the random thoughts. All these random thoughts are nothing but, totally unconnected, irresponsible, and just, make you occupy with all these things, which is noise, what I call is noise. And remember, I said earlier, thoughts come from the muscle memory, right? So all these are from your past experiences that was recorded in your muscle memory. So all these thoughts keep coming out. Okay, great. Any others sharing? So do this technique, or you will see many wonderful things happening. Okay, so I'm just going to share the last few slides before we conclude. So I understand Swamiji just started a new season of Paramashivam on the 1st of June. And so this whole new season is all about the superconscious AI, right? Name is artificial intelligence, and he's initiating all of us into this higher consciousness to be able to awaken the intelligence, the superconscious intelligence. So to attend the initiation, the powerful cognition, the jnana session, and then doing the yoga, it starts at 7 p.m. our time in Singapore, which is 7 a.m. in Eastern Standard Time. And then the daily section, the darshan start at 7 a.m. Singapore time. Okay, so whether it's live darshan or a live darshan, just attend the darshan and get that I call daily boost of energy. Darshan is like daily, Swamiji giving bliss dose, be there for the daily darshan for the bliss dose. And then, so thank you all for the participation in today's session. In the next chapter, next week, we're going to break the walls. So understanding how we created the walls, which is coming from this pseudo, the artificial, which is all the wrong ideas, belief, past experiences that we accumulated that form this so-called the pseudo, the artificial. So now Swamiji said in the next chapter, how can we break the wall? Is the focus of next chapter. So I look forward to see all of you in the next chapter next week. So Rosita said the first few minutes is quiet, then many thoughts keep popping. Yeah. So some of them started with many thoughts, then silence. Some of them started with some silence and then many thoughts. So it doesn't matter where where you begin. The whole point is elongating the silence, more and more silence, and more living in the unclutched state. Okay. So Paul said, thanks for the guided meditation, very peaceful overall and relaxing. Yeah. I tell you, when you are established in the unclutched state, so much healing happen, not just body, mind, emotion, everything just heal in that original state of Paramashiva. Okay. So I remember when I did my first IA with Swamiji, he made us set through hours of unclutching, very deep level unclutching. It's just amazing. Right now, you don't get to do that anymore. So unless you attend a, physical program with him. But I think in the darshan, you can at least get to experience it. You can attend the Paramashivam 1, 2, 3 if you haven't experienced it. And, the deeper understanding can come from this sessions. Okay, so in today's session, I decided to pick this very powerful technique, the unclutching. In fact, he initiates all his disciples into this unclutching, the science of unclutching. So if you want to learn more, please go to the YouTube channel, Kailasa. So under Nithyananda and type unclutching. You'll see a whole playlist about this unclutching technique. Just go and watch them. Because Swamiji gave very, very lengthy explanation. There are 2 videos. I remember part 1 and part 2, which was a recording that he did when he was conducting the unclutching, we call it talk in India so many years ago. So you can watch the video where he gave a thorough understanding, and no need that he answered questions from disciples or devotees or visitors who attended this unclutching public satsang. So go and watch it and get to know more about this technique, the science behind it, and you can then start practicing. Okay. So with that, let me just conclude with the Purna mantra. Thank you all for joining. See you next week. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sovam Bhagavad Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Paruka Paramastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you. You can stop the recording and also live streaming.